This track actually looks sick on this game in the sunset. I don't think I've seen it before in sunset, to be honest. Yeah. But anyways, hello everyone. Welcome along to ABS Tier 1 here at the the sunlit circuit in Abu Dhabi for I believe it's round 6. I hope I put it on the right thing. Let me just check. Yeah, round 1 championship. Last week obviously was round 5. If you know your maths, we were at Monza. Well, usually this track is like the last track on the calendar, but not ABS. We're unique, so this is like barely halfway into the season. So, but we're here, which track looks very nice in this current sunlit sunset weather position thing. I don't know what I'm saying, but like just like the time of day. The time of day. That's what I meant. It looks good in the time of day, and it will get darker as the session goes on because I programmed it with my special programming skills so that it will do that. But in the commentary box with me today, I thought it was going to be FRT Lost Mist, aka Ruben, but instead I joined the lobby, and then I see a familiar person join the lobby as well, and then he invites me to the party. And his name was JetBelly1. Like, yeah. I bet, yeah, he didn't expect him to be back here, because he's like left a couple of times now. So yeah. Was I that bad? Was I that bad at streaming that you left again? Oh, you didn't leave. Oh, right. Well, your Xbox shut down, and you left me to commentate the final couple of laps by myself. So, yeah, that was heartbreaking for me. I tried to invite you back and got nothing. So yeah, it was quite sad, quite heartbreaking, especially for all the viewers. They were like, "Oh, where's that hairy Jet Belly guy gone?" And I was like, "I don't know. He's just left us." So I was by myself. And it was quite sad, but yeah. Anyways, no one set a lap time.
My audio wasn't included.
Oh, you're having a laugh, mate.
Oh, so stupid.
Oh, for God's sake. Right. Okay, to everyone that couldn't hear Adam, I'm commentating with him today. And all the gaps in the stream just then were because he was speaking, but the idiots didn't include his audio. So, yeah, you couldn't hear him. But he has now, hopefully.
No, I haven't.
I assume you have.
Yeah,
you haven't. You have. Good. If you hadn't, I would have kicked you, and you can experience what it's like to be Sam Cole when he had to commentate with me once, and I kicked him on lap 1. Yeah, it was in the classic car season. I kicked him on lap 1 because he was annoying me. I was like, "I'm doing the start." He's like, "No, I am." And I wasn't about to let him ruin the start for everyone, so I kicked him just to keep, just so he wouldn't wreck everything. But then what I didn't know was that if you kick someone from the party, when they rejoin, they can't include their audio again. So yeah, when he rejoined, he couldn't speak. Well, he could,
see,
but like no one could hear him.
That's slightly scary for me, because if I make a mistake on stream and get kicked from the party, that's it. That is it.
Indeed. Yeah, it's a scary prospect. I mean, I hold all the cards right now because I'm obviously streaming, so I could do what I want.
Yeah. All right.
But there have been occasions when like I've been commentating with people, I'm like, I want to kick you very badly, but like I've restrained myself most of the time. Just Sam is a very special case, I would say.
Extremely.
Where yeah. Pardon?
Sometimes you just can't hold yourself back from kicking Sam, whether it's real life.
Yeah,
or...
Sam is just very annoying, you know. That's what it is. Like no one else has that kind of annoyingness that Sam has. But I guess I can't be too hard on him. Can't be too hard on him because he's only 8, I think. So
I think
and he's like
I think
4
Jarv
foot.
wants us to talk about the actual laps now. Seems the one we're
Oh,
talking
does he?
about is Sam Cole, the man him. He's set at 132.9, only man in the 9s at 22, 32s at the moment. Behind him, Corey Marshall, then GSR 8 F1, Alfie George, all of them in the 33s, and then you get to FRA, LMG. I mean, dismal lap from him. 34-1, absolutely terrible.
Still a couple of seconds quicker than you, though.
Probably, yeah.
Probably.
That's painful.
Well,
It's just on a banker.
Well, yeah, as you said, Sam Cole is fastest so far. Last week's race winner, so that might have given him a bit of extra confidence. Something that is interesting, Lux Evan has lost his front wing, so he's crawling around the track with no front wing whatsoever, so it must have been a pretty big hit. Not sure what's happened to him. In front of him, Bad F1 Opinions on the grass, trying to get into the pits. This track is quite notorious for like missing the pit entrance, because like you can carry quite a lot of speed in there, but like sometimes you carry too much and go straight into the wall.
I think the reason is because it's slightly, I think it's tightens up, if that's the way of saying it, the final corner.
Yeah, it gets like a bit tighter as you turn in, and it catches quite a lot of people out most of the time.
It's also notorious for being a really boring race, as FRA and MG spins. He's back on track though, so he's all right there.
Yeah, in real life it's usually quite boring.
Hopefully we
This
can
is
make
quite
it
worrying
enjoyable.
now, because I thought it would have gotten dark by now.
As it is getting darker, because the lights are coming on.
Yeah, it's slowly getting darker. We might have a dark finish, like when everyone's setting their final lap times.
I mean,
So
if this was real life, you'd want to be setting your laps now, because obviously more on circuits equal more grip.
yes, that's true, because the track is warmer. But I don't think it affects the. I don't think it affects it as much in the game. So.
No, it does. There's track temperature comes into play.
Oh. Oh, okay then. That's interesting. So what I've really done by doing this with the lights and stuff, I've added an element of strategy into this qualifying session, haven't I?
Exactly, making it more exciting for the viewers.
Exactly. I mean, we haven't got many viewers right now. We've only got 11,
14.
according to my Xbox. So
I'm watching the stream. It's 14 guys in chat. Vapor Joe seems to be spamming. So can you just please shut up?
absolutely violated there by Jet Belly 1. I mean, if you get told to shut up by Jet Belly, you know you've really done something wrong. But anyway, we've got 7 minutes 40 seconds to go, and not too much has changed. I just realised Alfie George is 4th fastest in a Haas. This is impressive. You don't usually see this kind of stuff from a Haas car. Might have to think about signing him on if he's like he's doing this.
Alfie from Tier 2 though.
I'm not sure. I haven't seen him in Tier 2. Well, obviously, I haven't raced anyone in Tier 2.
Might be a different Alfie, but
yeah, there is. Oh, I know what you're thinking of. There is an Alfie in Tier 2, but it's a different one because
okay.
I think it's like Alfie J, who is in Tier 2.
Oh, alright.
He's very quick, but I don't think he's quite Tier 1 pace. As far as I know, as Danny Esquette has crossed the line and gone 4th fastest for McLaren. So nice lap there from the McLaren driver. Who are you predicting for pole position, Mr. Jet Belly 1?
I think pole position could be. It's probably going to be Sam Cole, to be completely honest with you.
Sam Cole. Interesting. Seed's gone 2nd fastest.
I mean, he's usually quite quick in qualifying, but when it comes to the race, he seems to make mistakes. So yeah, I think he might. He's got a shot at pole today. Obviously, he's provisional pole at the moment. Just needs to get out there and do another lap. I think he's actually on one coming through the fast left-right Corner now. Seems to be...
He's got quite a low
little
ERS though. He is on a lap, and it's got quite slightly deep through the hairpin. But it's got a nice exit onto the first DRS zone of the lap. So not too bad so far. We'll be able to see where he is in comparison to his last lap time very soon when he crosses the sector line and goes into sector 2. But he's invalidated, so that's not happening. Well, we can only wonder then if Sam Cole was up on his time or not, because well, we won't find out now, because he's invalidated on the apex, and flying past him there is Bad F1 Opinions in the Williams. He's currently 16th because he hasn't set a lap time yet. We'll stay with him for now, because obviously Bad F1 Opinions, resident legend, recently joined FRT, as seemingly everyone has seemed to join FRT or TRT, as Corey Marshall now goes fastest with a 32.926. So Sam Cole's pole position has come under threat in these past few seconds, and kind of rocking Jet Belly's confidence in him for pole position. But Bad F1 Opinion out of the final call. Let's see where he goes. He goes 8th fastest, so into the top 10, just ahead of our Finnish boy, TikToker, music lover, ABS Jarv.
Should I play this
obviously
national
no one.
anthem?
Yes, you should.
Alright, let me find it.
You should do that. Okay. Why is Jack? Oh, we were talking about this earlier. Jack has crashed in the pit lane. Oh dear. Yeah, he's gone straight into the barriers.
Yeah, completely lost his way.
Luckily not knocked off his wheel, so he can continue. Have you got Jarv's national anthem up?
I'm trying to find it. Give me a second.
Trying to find it, okay. And there is FRA LMG coming out of the pits as well. He's currently 12th, so he's going to be looking to get himself up a little bit higher as he goes through the famous pit lane exit through the tunnel and up onto the track. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that in the chat. You should do it anyway, though.
I can't find it though.
You can't find it?
No.
Unbelievable. I give you what you've given yourself one job, and you can't even do that. And you know what's really, really worrying is the fact that it's still not dark, and we're in the final 3 minutes of the session.
Yes. Are you sure you set this right?
I'm sure I did. Like, it said it would get darker. I don't understand. And it doesn't. It's not like looking. Not even looking like it's getting darker. Actually, no. It must have gotten darker though, because like at the start of the session, like we could properly see the sun on the cars, and
yeah,
now
no,
we
that's
can't,
true.
can we? So it is getting darker, just really slowly.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's just kind of worrying because I put it on qualifying at double. So that it would get darker quicker. That means it's going to get dark horrendously slowly in the race. But hopefully by the end it should be dark, because the race is quite long. But still, we're in the final 2 minutes now. So this is where everyone will be coming out to set their lap times. FRA LMG is out on a lap right now, as we can see, as he makes his way through turn 1, gets a little bit squirrely on the exit, but I think that might have been just lag. You found it!
Alright. Wait,
do it.
Carry on doing this lap, and then I'll do it after.
Okay. So FRA LMG then through the real first braking zone of the lap into the hairpin, slightly deep, but cuts back for quite a good exit down onto the back, the first of the back straights. DRS zone, of course, reaching 200 miles an hour as he goes under the Pirelli sign and into the braking zone all the way over to the right-hand side. Locks up slightly, but makes the apex and makes the second apex as well. And you want to get a good exit out of there onto the second DRS zone then. And then trying to take a tight as line as possible, and then back over to the right to take a widest line possible into the next sequence of corners. Another lock up there for FRA LMG, looking like he's very very locky-uppy in the Mercedes as he goes through here. Very easy to clip the wall if you're too committed, but he doesn't clip the wall. Into here, very easy to lock up, and he does lock up. Then through here, just want to keep it nice, neat and tidy, and make sure you don't hit any barriers, run wide or anything. And then through these final couple of corners, didn't look that committed, to be honest, from FRA LMG, and he's very squirrely on the exit. He goes third fastest still, so still a decent lap time.
Oh no! Guess I'm just gonna have to play it again.
What have you done? John just said in the chat, oh my god.
Right. Oh.
We are so dead after this stream.
Yeah.
Oh well, what's the worst he can do? He's in Finland, I suppose. But the timer has now hit 0, but obviously for the drivers it hasn't hit 0 because they're all piling up in the third sector to start their laps. We'll see when their timers have hit 0 when the checkered flags start appearing. But for now, I've got to wait until they come up so I can know when to start, as TRT seed is invalidated already. So that's unfortunate, but he's not going to be starting any higher than 6th position. Cuts the track to get out of the way of people who are on their flying lap. Someone's gone into the top 6, and it's Jarv. He has gone... Oh wait, no, it's not Jarv. Jarv has gone straight on there, which is allowed.
I think Danny went P2.
It was Danny, yeah, it was Danny. He's gone second fastest, so the McLaren up into the top 2 positions. Let's see if Sam Cole, well, both Mercedes, let's see if either of the Mercedes have any response to that. Sam Cole will, no, it's going to be LMG, but LMG's into the pits, so yeah, he already set his lap, didn't he? So it's only Sam Cole, the final Mercedes, to finish his lap, but the checkered flag has now dropped. So let's see then, who is finishing their laps? GSR 8 goes on to provisional pole position with a 32.8. Let's see who is next to come. I believe it was one of the Hasses, but
Sam Cole.
I'm just completely blind. Sam Cole goes even quicker, a 32.6. A very speedy lap time indeed. Then Corey Marshall's invalidated, so he's only going to be 3rd. Next driver to come across the line is... not sure, to be honest. I didn't see. I'm not very good at this right now. Kagoda next to come across the line goes 12th, solid, and here comes Jack. Then Jack goes 3rd, but not high enough to knock off Sam Cole or GSR 8. Next to come across the line was V2X Combat, but I believe he was invalidated. Who is next? It's Speed Lacuste. He is 9th.
I was
that's
right.
it. You were right. I didn't expect that, to be honest. I expected the other drivers to have a bit more of a response to that, but I mean Sam Cole just went even quicker, so yeah.
So that was a pretty good lap to get into the mid 32s.
Indeed. But yeah, so Sam Cole on pole then.
I just sent a message in chat saying that Jar blocked Sam Cole on his lap, which I think he did slightly. I think it might have been his AI. And you just guess what just happened?
What's just happened?
I think it was Tony deleted my message in chat.
What message was it?
I said Jar blocked Sam.
Well, it would have been Jarv that deleted it then.
No, because I think Jar was driving at this point. But I think Renault,
okay,
I think there was a little bit of Renault bias there from
That might have been it actually. So
Tony.
yeah, is Tony team leader or is it Jarv that's team leader of Renault?
Tony is not team leader. Jarv
so
is.
it's Jarv then. Okay. I thought I swear Tony's team leader of Renault.
He acts like it, but
Let
he's
me
not.
see. Hold on, let me see. Let me find Tony. Where's Tony?
Unless he's the team.
Tony is team leader.
Or is that team leader of God Racing? Or is that Nathan?
No, Nathan's team leader of Gorgod Racing. You not made the connection there. Gorgon. No,
Oh yeah,
Busy Gorgon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Gorgod Racing.
Okay, I understand.
And yeah, it is Tony that's team leader of Renault. I just checked.
Renault bias.
So yeah. Rossi said, "Good to see that I know a lot. I do know a lot. I know loads." Rossi said Tony is team leader. So it wasn't me. I knew. I said that Tony was team leader. It was Adam that said it was Jarv. So, yeah. Blame Adam. He's just not very smart, I guess.
Yeah, but I predicted pole, didn't I?
Yeah, you predicted pole, but that's just luck. That's just gambling.
No, that's not luck. That was making a perfectly predicted guess. I'm actually an oracle. In case you didn't realise.
I don't know about that. Well, anyway, so then for the formation lap, I'll quickly go through the order. Sam Cole is on pole position, GSR 8 second, VRT Lilly, aka Jack third, Corey Marshall fourth, Danny Esquetit is fifth, and then Sam Cole's teammate FRA LMG starts sixth, just ahead of the man who we just played his theme song, ABS Jarv. TRT Seed starts just behind him in 8th. Spieler Custe is 9th for AlphaTauri. Alfie George is 10th, the reserve driver coming in last minute to replace Ricochet for this race. EQR Suche starts 11th and on the medium compounder tyres, just ahead of De Smurfen, who locks up a little bit there into the hairpin, who's just ahead of Kagoda. Tuck is just behind him in 14th for Renault. Polo God 15th. I expected him to be a bit higher up than this, but he's quite low down the order, so maybe this is not one of his favourite tracks, but we'll have to see in the race. Bad of One Opinion, who's weaving around just behind him, starts 16th, ahead of Lux Evan, who is also weaving around all over the place, a bit like a worm in the AlphaTauri in 17th. Maddest Gamer Boss, who was like, he was goated last week. He was on pole, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Or was he? Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. I remember now. So, Maddest Gamer Boss, last week's pole sitter, starting all the way down in 18th, and then the last two drivers didn't set lap times. V2X Combat and TRT Sisha starts 19th and 20th respectively. Who do you think's going to win, Adam?
I'm gonna have a huge gamble here and say VRC Lilly. I mean, he's the man on third, so if he gets a good start, that's second into turn one, and then you've got some massive long straights, haven't you?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if he can get a good start,
very much a slipstream battle in Sector 1.
I think if he can get a good start, he's got a chance of winning. But apart from that, I'd have to say GSR F1 is ABS Jarv and FRA LMG making contact on the formation lap. Wonder what happened there.
Yeah, that's interesting. Not sure why that is. Sam Cole's looking very skew-if in his starting box as well. Same with GSR 8. But they're not starting yet, as the revs have not risen.
So annoying. Why can't they just make it?
I know. Why can't they fix this? Like, honestly. Okay, the revs are rising now, so we should be underway any second now. It's lights out and away we go. Good start from Sam Cole. It's an even better one from GSR 8 when he's going down the inside into turn 1. Sam Cole cuts him off, and GSR 8 has spun round in turn 1. That is contact, massive contact. FRA LMG also spinning round. Corey Marshall has managed to make his way up into P2. His teammate VRC Lilly, who has followed him, and we have a virtual safety car already. That was a disaster start. I mean, I don't know what happened there, like everyone just died. So GSR 8 and FRA LMG, the main two, losing out massively. FRA LMG has lost his front wing. EQR Suche has left the session, so that's your job to get him back, Adam. GSR 8 looks like he's escaped damage, so he'll be okay. There's a couple of 5-second penalties floating around for some of the drivers as well, as they're all swarming together as they make their way down the main straight at a very much slower pace than we would have expected at this point. But yeah, that was mainly... pardon?
Such Jay.
Yeah, such a, because he left. But that was mainly triggered. That was triggered by Sam Cole turning in on GSR 8 in turn 1. I think he could have left a bit more space than that. But we'll have to see what the stewards think of that after the race. Corey Marshall's got a very good restart. Look at him right on the back of Sam Cole as they make their way through the double right-hander and into the final sector they go. It's Sam Cole and then the two Ferraris. Danny S. Get It is fourth. ABS Jarve, what start he's had. Same with Alfie George, actually. Those two getting up into 5th and 6th, respectively. TRT Seed is running 7th. DeSmurfin 8th. Kagoda 9th. Speed Lacuste rounds out the top 10. We got a bit of a gap, actually, back from Polo got to Lux Evans, so there might have been something going on as someone's come into the pets. That's EQR such as AI. So he was involved in the carnage on at turn 1 then, because he's got a broken front wing. Same with FRA, LMG and SV Tuck and Bad F1 Opinion. So more drivers than I thought involved in that disaster lap 1 turn 1 scenario. But it's still Sam Cole who leads then. The two Ferraris are still trying to get close enough to make a move on him. Corey Marshall, the lead Ferrari, using a bit of overtake as they make their way down the main straight, but he's not close enough to make a move on Sam Cole. A bit further back, let's see, is anything happening? Looks like everyone's being pretty orderly. Kagoda's going down the inside for DeSmurfin. Sorry to cut across you there, Adams. DeSmurfin stays ahead for the time being. So can Kagoda get a good run on him? Not looking like it, actually. He's coming under pressure now from Speed Lacuste, who's right on the back of him in the AlphaTauri. Looks to the outside, a bit of ghosting going on. Speed Lacuste's got to be careful to not run into the back of DeSmurfin. They're going side by side through the chicane. Who's come out on top of that one? DeSmurfin comes out in front from Kagoda and Speed Lacuste, so they've stayed in the same position, but Speed Lacuste going down the inside of Kagoda again, but again not being able to get the move done. And look how much time they've lost to DeSmurfin and Seed in front of them, battling a bit too hard, I think, too early in the race. Polar God has also had a decent start. He's gained a couple of positions in the first couple of laps. He's up to 11th, just outside the fringes of the points. We'll put up the position changes. So the best starts of yeah, mainly from the guys at the back, actually. A couple of drivers gaining about 5 positions. And the only drivers that have lost positions that weren't involved in that first lap accident was Speed Lacuste, who's lost 1 position. Other than that, everyone else has had a good start. Well, ish good start. But yeah, very dramatic turn 1 incident there. What's your view on it? What's your view on it, Jetbelly 1?
Well, since it's been 5 from Mercedes. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to be biased. I think maybe he could have given more room, but ultimately, Sam Cole is trying to keep that position into turn 1, and he doesn't have to leave a whale of a space to let GSR 8 F1 past. I think maybe it was just an unlucky incident to have, and maybe Sam needs to I'm saying maybe quite a lot here because it's quite unclear really what's happened until we see both drivers POVs. Yeah,
it's a close one. It could be ruled down as a racing incident, but it's difficult to tell at this moment in time. So we'll have to wait until after the race. But look at the two Ferraris. They're right on the back of Sam Cole. And Sam Cole hasn't got really a teammate to help him out in this situation, because obviously his teammate FRA LMG was involved in that first lap accident. So he's all the way down in 17th. So it's Sam Cole, the only Mercedes still in the points. And he is in the best points position at the moment. But he's got the two Ferraris right behind him. Can very much gang up on Sam Cole. But they are on the same strategy, the Ferraris. So they cannot pit. Well, one of them will have to stay out longer than the other, because obviously they won't want to double stack, because that will lose them more time. But it does mean that they could be possibly under threat from Danny S. Get It, ABS Jarve. Bit of a gap back to actually no. Well, so Seed, Jarve, and Danny. So they could easily get ahead of one of them. Possibly we could see. Oh yes, there is side by side for the lead. Corey Marshall does get ahead of Sam Cole into the braking zone. Lord, VRT Lilly very late on the brakes there, nearly runs into the back of Sam Cole. Will Sam Cole come back at Corey Marshall? He's very low on ERS, well not very low, fairly low on ERS. He hasn't got as much as Corey Marshall. So this could, yeah, this be the car. Oh, he's gone very deep though, or it looked like he had for a second, but obviously not deep enough to allow Sam Cole back past. But Corey Marshall has managed to get past Sam Cole, and he also has more ERS. So that says to me that Corey Marshall, at least at this moment in time, is the quicker of the two. So now we're going to have to see, will Sam Cole come back at Corey Marshall, or will he fall further back into the clutches of Corey Marshall's teammate, VRT Lilly 1412, the newly named driver. He was previously he was just Jack, I think, but now he's VRT Lilly because obviously he's joined VRT. Lilly is his surname, so yeah. He's not a new driver to the championship, in case anyone was wondering, but I would assume most of the drivers, well, most of the people that are watching this stream do keep up with the ABS chitter chatter and would know that VRT Lilly is Jack. Yes, the gossip, that's one way of putting it. But Sam Cole stayed in the DRS of Corey Marshall, so we'll have to see if he comes back at the Ferrari driver down this straight. He's into overtake, so I think he might have a go, but it's difficult to say because he is 6/10 behind, gaining on the Ferrari, but VRT Lilly is gaining on Sam Cole, so we could see a move between second and third. VRT Lilly has gone down the inside, he locks up, and he's not going to be able to get past. Sam Cole cuts the corner slightly. I would imagine that's going to be a warning, but here comes VRT Lilly again then. He's got his ERS into overtake. Let's see who will come out on top of this one. He looks to the inside, does VRT Lilly. He looks for it. A little bit of contact, a little bit of wheel bumping. Who's going to get forced out wide on this occasion? Looks like Sam Cole is just about going to have to concede, and VRT Lilly makes his way up into second position ahead of Sam Cole. So Sam Cole, the pole sitter, dropping down now. The two Ferraris have managed to get past. Sam Cole locks up a little bit there for good measure. So, and FRA LMG has been given a 10-second time penalty for corner cutting, and he's retired.
He's caused a safety car there. I think he's gone.
Yeah, that will be a penalty, I would assume. Because you can crash yourself out in qualifying, but you can't do it in a race, especially since he's caused a virtual safety car as well, and that has caused VRT Lilly, Sam Cole, Danny S. Get It, to come into the pits. So Corey Marshall, the race leader, stays out. So I wonder if it was the right call to stay out or not. Has Corey Marshall been possibly caught napping by that? Because we're back underway again now. So, and the drivers that have come into the pits won't have gained as much time as they usually would have, because we're back up to racing speed fairly quickly. But it's interesting. So the drivers that did pit, they've all gone on to the mediums, apart from Lux Evan, who's gone for hard, and Polo God, who's also gone for hards. So a little bit of a varying choice of strategies going on there. But we'll have to see which is the best. I have no idea what the strategy is around this track. I think it's a two-stop. I think it's one of the few tracks that you can do a two-stop at, and it be better than a one-stop. So it's quite unique in that respect, but I'm not fully sure.
One-stops are very slow here.
Yeah, it's quite a long pit lane, and actually no, I think the pit limiter is fairly normal. It's a little bit slower than the average, because it's 44 instead of the pretty normal 49, so it's a couple of miles an hour slower, but it's also quite long. But you do also cut the track when you come out again, because obviously you take a bit of a shorter line through turn 1 than you would on the main, if you're on the actual track, but obviously you're carrying less speed, so it's, yeah. Oh, someone's out. Jarvis out. DeSmurfen comes in. Seed makes a very last-minute lunge for the pits. Corey Marshall has missed the pits, but he's got ahead of the safety car, so it won't be too bad. How has Jarv crashed there? He's crashed before.
I think he might have had
on the exit.
TRT Seed, or maybe just a spin.
I don't think it was Seed, because Seed didn't look like he was in the same kind of area. Well, he was kind of in the same kind of area, but it didn't look very close to Jarv. But I'm not sure. We'll have to see what's happened there. But that has caused some some rushing around in the pit lane. A couple
Maybe
of
it's
drivers coming to the
stupid.
pit. Seed, Smurfen, a couple of others as well. Crucially, Corey Marshall wasn't at the pit lane when it came out. As Seed gets a 5-second time penalty for a collision with Danny Esquette. But yeah, Corey Marshall was past the pits when it happened. But luckily for him, he is ahead of the safety car, so he'll be able to go round for this lap. Hopefully, he'll be able to get to the pits before the Delta goes away. And then he'll be able to change his tyres without losing any positions. Kagoda has got up to second, and Maddis Gamer Boss up to third. All these drivers, second, third, and fourth, haven't pitted yet, so that's why they are so far up the order. So they will presumably drop down when they do come into the pits. And I can hear a bit of a kerfuffle going on your end, Adam. Are you choking on anything this week?
No, I did have a pizza today, but I washed it down with some Fanta. So
Good to hear. Good to hear that you're making healthy lifestyle choices. Pizza and Fanta.
I had a salad for lunch.
Pardon?
I had a salad for lunch.
Oh, okay. Did you have anything with the salad?
Yeah, but we're not going to talk
What did you
about
have
what
with the
happened here.
Well, presumably it wasn't very good for you then. What was it?
Well, slapped on some ham, some barbecue sauce, some mozzarella cheese, and some jalapenos.
That's not too bad.
Jalapenos?
Wait.
They're actually...
okay, maybe. To be honest, I don't know. I don't know what's that healthy. What's very healthy, to be honest.
Well, I'm not entirely sure, to be honest, myself. But I think
Yeah,
that's kind
usually whenever I'm eating, I have to ask my mum what's better for me, because I don't know what calories are in stuff. So obviously got to keep fit for when I make my return to ABS racing.
No, keep it
obviously
fit
it's
for
no
the
time
commentator.
soon, but oh yeah, it does take a lot of effort for commentating. I don't think many people understand quite how much physical effort it takes. You know, you've got to have very strong mouth muscles. So
Yeah. Just
anyways,
do some jaw exercises before the race.
if chewing gum,
Yeah,
gum
that's
can
it. That's it.
because that's exercising your jaw muscles.
Non-sugar gum, because we're healthy.
Yeah, like mint, like Mentos, like that.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Yeah, that's not too bad for you. But anyway, Koda has stayed out, so he's going to yeah, he started on the mediums. So he's not pitted yet, which is why he's in the lead of this race and will be doing the safety car restart. Corey Marshall has managed to get out ahead of his rivals, despite having to come into the pits a lap later. But luckily, what's funny?
In chat, whoever the operator of ABS Racing League is said, you know how to improve mouth muscles, winking emoji.
Hey yo, that's
No.
no comment on that.
Whoever this is should be banned from streaming because you're making us act up.
I feel like I don't think Jarv would say that, so I don't think it is Jarv.
Yeah, but like, Jarv's racing, so why is he? Oh no, he's not
out.
racing.
He crashed. He's the reason for this safety car.
He's the reason we're getting called sus as well.
Yeah, I mean, Surfy, you better pipe down, man. You can't even finish a race without crashing. Like, anyone that watches Tier 4 will know that Surfy's pretty notorious for not finishing races. Actually, no, you were with me last week, weren't you? He crashed from the lead.
Yes. That was...
Yeah, so
quite
you know
hilarious.
about his shenanigans now.
He said, how dare you.
I feel like every stream I just kind of roast Surfy at one point. Like, because the
I didn't hear you do it,
ABS
so
has said
wrong,
that one there's a violation. Personally, I wouldn't have it. I loved that. I loved that like video. Like,
Watch me win Abu
find
Dhabi then.
mm.
Okay.
I was waiting to watch you win not Imola, Monza.
If you
But
win...
did it happen? No.
If you win Abu Dhabi,
I mean,
we will not meme on you ever again.
in all fairness, the barriers at Abu Dhabi are pretty far away at most points of the track. Most of the corners have got quite a lot of runoff, so it should be quite difficult for him to come off the track. Well, okay, the safety car's going extremely early, but it's safety car in this lap. We'll have to go back to Tier 1 for now.
I was having fun.
Because we shouldn't really be talking about Tier 4 too much during the Tier 1 stream. But it's going to be Kagoda who is doing the safety car restart, as I said earlier, because he hasn't pitted. The two Ferraris right behind him, I would imagine they'll be making short work of him as Desmerfen gets a 5-second time penalty for a collision with V2X Combat. Sam Cole, the pole sitter, is currently 4th, just ahead of the McLaren driver of Danny S. Gettit, TRT Seed. Also just behind him, the man who has possibly the reason that ABS Jarve is no longer with us in this race. But V2X Combat is 7th, so he's benefited from the safety car. Desmerfen and Maddest Gamer Boss just behind him, and Polar God rounds out the top 10. And what's funny now is I assume it's the chat.
Yeah, do the restart,
Okay, right then. So Kagoda leads them up to the line. He's weaving all over the place, and Kagoda has now gone. So away we go then. The flag has gone green. We're over the line. So this is where the safety car has officially gone, and the overtaking can resume. And you know what? Kagoda's got a pretty good restart, to be honest. He's got about 4/10 back to Corey Marshall in second place, despite Corey Marshall being on much fresher tyres as they all make their way through turns 1 and 2. Sam Cole having a lot of pressure from Danny S. Gettit right behind him. Locks up but keeps the place and makes the corner, so Danny Esqueti will have to sit behind for a little bit longer. So we got a yellow flag in sector 2. Someone's off. That's Desmerfen who's out of the race. What's happened there? Oh no, he's just retired, so I'm not sure what's happened there. But here comes Corey Marshall then, down the inside of Kagoda and up. Well, I would assume he'll be back up into the lead by the time the corner finishes. Not quite. Kagoda's not willing to give it up. And you know what? Fair play to Kagoda. He doesn't need to give this one up, and he's not intending to. Will Kagoda come back at him? He has lost the position to Corey Marshall, but he's now coming under pressure from VRT Lilly, Corey Marshall's teammate. Down the inside goes VRT Lilly into the next corner, and VRT Lilly has got ahead of Kagoda. Kagoda not being able to fight that one for very long on 9-lap-old medium tyres. Now he's coming under pressure from Sam Cole right behind him. But Kagoda's not finished with VRT Lilly just yet. He's still right on the back of the Ferrari ahead of him, not giving him any breathing space. Locks up a little bit, but makes the corner very nice and tidily. But he's very, very much under pressure from Sam Cole 007 as they make their way through the final couple of corners of the lap. And it's still not dark. It needs to get dark soon. Otherwise, I will be in trouble because everyone will be like, oh, it should be under the floodlights. As Corey Marshall sets the fastest lap of the race. Here comes Sam Cole on Kagoda. This is a risky part of the track to make a move. Sam Cole makes his way down the inside of Kagoda, and he has got ahead of Kagoda by the time I have a different camera angle to look at. So Kagoda drops down to 4th then. Danny S. gets it now all over the back of him as well. Back to the front, the two Ferraris leading very nicely from Sam Cole in 3rd. Obviously the two Ferraris aren't going to be wanting to take any risks with each other, but there is a championship on the line between these two drivers because they are both fighting for the championship. So I wonder if team orders will be in play or not. Pardon?
He's moaning at you because it's not dark.
Oh, of course he is, but it will get dark, just not yet. So I don't know why it's taken so long, to be honest, because I put it on like a regular thing. So it will get dark soon, don't worry. As here comes V2X Combat, he somehow finds a gap on Kagoda and gets past up into 5th place. So it's nice to see Haas for once doing well. Both Hasses are in the points right now, so this is looking very nice indeed. But as we all know, whenever the Hasses are in the points, something happens to them. And someone's gone off. That's Polo God. Yeah, it is! Polo God's off the road. So one of the main drivers contestant for the championship is now off the road, and he's nearly spun it again. As Kagoda gets a 3-second time penalty, but crucially, Polo God down in 16th now. So that's the worst possible scenario that he would have wanted, as Corey Marshall sets another fastest lap of the race. But I have been told that the reason Polo God has a lack of pace is because he is running no ABS for this race. So yeah, that would have something to do with it, as they make their way through the first couple of corners. And ABS Racing League says focus on commentary. I was focused on commentary, but
He's talking to me.
Oh, he's talking to you. That's why. Fair enough. Back to the action. Kagoda now under pressure from Maddest Gamer Boss. Obviously, those older tyres are very much not as quick as the fresher tyres behind him. A bit further back, any moves being made. GSR Aid is on the back of TRT Seed using his overtake. I don't think he's going to be close enough to make a move on TRT Seed unless he sends it down the inside. He doesn't even think about it. So GSR Aid sitting behind for the time being. Meanwhile, further ahead, Maddest Gamer Boss has got ahead of Kagoda, who is obviously slipping back on the older tyres, and TRT Seed has got DRS off of Kagoda now. So that has sort of ruined the opportunity that GSR Aid could have had. And meanwhile, a bit further up the road, V2X Combat has got past Danny Esquete up into 4th place. This is sensational. A Haas actually doing well, but Danny Esquete isn't finished with him yet. He's come back at the Haas driver, and he's going to try and hang it all the way around the outside. This is very risky stuff, and it's luckily managed to end in no crashes, which is very much a relief for me, because if I'd seen a Haas in the barriers, I may well have just shot myself. But luckily, we haven't seen a Haas in the barriers, and it has ended up with the Haas up into 4th place. Danny Esquete down in 5th. Maddest Gamer Boss also joining this battle as well. He's in 6th at the moment as Lox Evan gets a time penalty for track limits. So it's not that difficult to get track limit warnings here. It's definitely it's less prone to having time penalties here than it is, let's say, Monza last week. I think the majority of the time penalties that most of the drivers have are time penalties for contact under safety car. So the majority of them will get them removed, I would assume. Back to the battle for the lead. Corey Marshall's just about managed to break DRS from his teammate behind. Sam Colt is in the DRS of VRT Lilly though, so that will bring VRT Lilly under a little bit more pressure. If Ferrari are really interested in helping themselves, then maybe if Corey Marshall's pace isn't insanely superior to VRT Lilly's, ask him just to drop back just slightly so that VRT Lilly can have that DRS and have a little bit more protection against Sam Colt, but it's also compromising Corey Marshall, and if there's a safety car, then obviously they would have to double stack, so it makes it a bit more complicated, but we'll have to see what they intend to do. But I can't personally see Corey Marshall slowing down for his teammate anytime soon. Further back, everything looking fairly orderly. As I say that, EQR Suche is all over the back of the other Haas, Alfie George, the reserve driver, making his way into Tier 1 today in place of Ricochet. As I said earlier, stays ahead of EQR Suche, but goes hasn't got the bestest exit out there, and EQR Suche goes down the inside and gets ahead of Alfie George and up into the points paying positions. But here comes Alfie George back for more as they go into turn 1, looks to the outside line but not quite able to make a move on the McLaren driver on this occasion. He's practically pushing EQR Suche through the first couple of corners, but is obviously as you can see, sticking behind for the time being. GSR Aid also all over the back of Kagoda, still slipping down on those older tyres. But to be fair, he's not dropped off Seed too badly, but that is probably because Seed is on hards and he'll be trying to go to the end of the race as Polo God sets the fastest lap of the race. Here comes GSR Aid on Kagoda down the inside of the Red Bull. They've both got DRS, so it's not quite as easy as GSR Aid would have wanted, and Kagoda's not in any mood to give it up. He's got the inside line for the next corner, but not got the best of exits. They've both made contact with each other and compromised both of their exits. Here comes EQR Suche to join the party. Will it get both of them, I wonder? It's 3 wide, and it's just about going to manage to well, they're all facing in the right direction, so that's good stuff as Kagoda gets shoved out wide there by EQR Suche. Just about rejoins the track without crashing into Alfie George and TLC Sisha, and Kagoda's slipping further and further back now as he rejoins the track. Yellow flags deployed, obviously, and Kagoda looks to have given up. Unless his controller's disconnected, because that's a very interesting way to be driving. But we'll see if he has given up or if he is just having some controller issues. Bit further up ahead, TRTC and GSR Aid F1 fighting it out for P7. Then we got a long gap to TRTC's teammate Maddest Gamer Boss up ahead in 6th place. TRTC must be very surprised to have a teammate, the same teammate as the last race for once. obviously not very common for TRTC to have the same teammate for more than one race. Oh, someone's gone off. That's Polo God. He is crashed by the looks of it. Yeah, he's hit that barrier, and we've got a virtual safety car. We'll see if we can see Polo God's car on board with Spila Custe. And yes, he has very much lost the car and is out of the session. Spila Custe's AI goes straight through him. But luckily, no safety car. Well, not luckily for us, because I would have liked to see some action. But I feel like I haven't let you speak in a while, Adam.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say?
Yeah, I was actually going to talk about penalties at the moment. The Haas in fourth has 16 seconds of penalties.
Oh, Suchi's out.
Ooh, how's that happened?
What's happened there?
I think he might have just binned it. Just get on board with Pagoda so we can see it.
Yep, I'm already on it, and that's a very weird place to have crashed. To have done that, he must have been carrying a lot of speed into that corner. Unless he unless he possibly clipped someone and then broken his wheel and gone straight into the barriers then.
Overcorrection, maybe? Could be anything.
It's a weird one. You don't usually see drivers going off there, but yeah, strange stuff. But what we do know is it's EQR Suche out of the race, and it's our 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth retirement of the race. So had to count that for a second there, and I'm kind of hoping that it does actually get a move on this sunset, and so we can get into the dark, so that I can prove that it was supposed to get dark in this race. And it does look like it's getting darker. Don't you agree, Adam?
Yes, it's getting much darker. No, he's not holding a gun to my head.
Yeah, I think it is slowly getting darker, but look at the two Ferraris. We've got a battle for the lead on our hands. VRT Lily goes past Corey Marshall and up into the lead. So whether that was orchestrated or not, we don't know. We'll find out if Corey Marshall comes back at VRT Lily down the next DRS zone. He's using overtake for a second there, but quickly goes back to normal usage of the ERS, and he's not going for a move on VRT Lily, so I would assume that might have been team orders there to let Lily through, because Corey Marshall's pace wasn't quite enough to storm away into the distance. Sam Colt is also hanging on in there. Top three are a long way ahead of everyone else as Danny Esqueta has spun. So the driver that was in fifth has now come off of the road and into the grass. He's rejoined. We'll see if GSR Aid... Yeah, he does stay ahead of GSR Aid. So Danny Esqueta only losing a couple of positions there, and it looked like Danny went into AI for a second there. So I think he's just clipped something. So I wonder if that might have been contact with V2X Combat or not. So
no, I don't think it was. I think it might have been Maddie's game over, yeah, because I saw a racing point in front of a McLaren when they were having damage and stuff, and all these kerfuffles.
Someone else is off as well. That's Bad Fun Opinion, who's now out. They're dropping like flies right now. Everyone's crashing and spinning and doing stuff, but we have a safety car now. So that means the lead that the top three had has now come down to nothing really. But now Ferrari have a dilemma. Do they pit both cars, or do double stack? Because they have got quite a gap back to the drivers behind, but they would also lose track position to Sam Cole. One of them at least would lose track position to Sam Cole. It's a difficult one. If I
was Ferrari, I would allow Corey Marshall to slow down slightly to give VRT Lily more of a gap so that they can do the double stack.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, it's still very difficult because you need quite a big gap to be able to not get held.
I think it's something like 5 seconds you need, and it's
something like
currently
that,
5/10. So
yeah, but see, the problem is, if Corey Marshall slows down too much and slows down Sam Cole will be on the phone to the stewards in no time saying that he intentionally slowed me down. So it's a difficult one, and to be honest, by the looks of it, I reckon that Corey Marshall will stay out here. Yep, okay, so I thought for a second they were both going to stay out, but yeah, VRT Lily comes into the pits as well as Sam Cole. V2X Combat has stayed out. He's missed the pit lane, that's what he's done. V2X Combat missed the pit lane, that's why he stayed out. Oh, God. Never a dull moment in my career as team boss. So V2X Combat stayed out then
P2
by
though.
no choice of his own, and is up into second. So the Lily and Sam Cole came into the pits. Maddest Gamer Boss has come into the pits and changing his front wing, but he's holding up his teammate TRTC. So Seed is going to drop down the order quite significantly. Danny Esqueta is back up into 5th position. Let's see, Siege dropped out of the points because of that. And it looks like he's serving a time penalty as well. So yeah, that's a very, very long stop for TRTC. He's now down in 12th place. So disaster for Racing Point, well, at least for one of the Racing Points. He's dropped down very, very far from where he was before. But I mean, at least Alfie George is back in the points. So lovely stuff for me, at least. And it's still not dark. Like,
You can see the light.
it does not. You know, it is getting darker. You can tell it's getting darker, but it definitely doesn't take this long in real life.
No. Maybe you should have sped up the time or something. Oh wait, did you put the night time at the end of the session?
Yeah. No,
So it will only get to pitch
didn't.
black at the end of the race.
Oh wait, I can't remember, to be honest. I know it said it would get dark at some point. It didn't say exactly when. I think that's something Codemasters need to work on, to be honest, because it's quite confusing.
Honestly,
And it didn't help that I had to set it up on my wheel.
There are a lot more things I need to be working on than weather at the moment.
Yeah. Well, true, but I mean, it's a start, I suppose.
Yeah.
And then they need to sort out the servers and all that. But I mean, it's not even Codemasters anymore, is it? It's EA now.
They're gonna make us pay for better servers.
I think EA will do a pretty good job, as Corey Marshall's now. Okay, no, he hasn't. V2X Combat's been disqualified. Oh my God!
He overtook the safety car going into the pits.
He did exactly what Splashy Spear did in Tier 4 last week, didn't he? Oh my God! It's actually unbelievable, the bad luck. Well, not really bad luck in this case, it's more driver error.
Yeah.
But oh my God!
Alfie George though, still there. Hopefully he has.
Yeah, at least Alfie George has gained a position, I suppose. And something else that's interesting. Well, actually, no, not very interesting. I thought, for some reason, Corey Marshall pitted for fresh
No.
mediums.
He's not been
on old
disqualified.
medium. Has he not?
No, he hasn't been disqualified.
Oh yeah.
He's just been
What
given.
the hell?
What?
Hold on, let me check the race director. Oh dear, I nearly
I
exited the game then. Oh, you're checking it. Okay.
Confused. As a confused man with a confused brain.
Just on board with him right now to see.
He got 5 seconds,
He got 5 seconds for it, but
but then they were removed because he went into the pits.
that's weird.
That is
Like
odd.
it came up on your screen that he was disqualified, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's so weird.
Jarv
Another
was
thing
laughing at
Codemasters need to sort out.
Jarv was laughing
safety
at
car in
Haas,
this lap.
and now he's like, no, because he's not disqualified.
It's a bit peak.
I know. I mean, no bias much.
Yeah, just a little bit.
I'm gonna get banned from.
He's literally. I'm just looking through the chat. He's completely against Haas. He's like FFS Haas spin not McLaren. Like he wants the Haas to get a penalty. You know, I think there is something going on here, like against Haas. There's like something against Haas, like in general in this league. I mean, that's how you know that something fishy's going on. But anyway, safety car is in this lap, as you can see everyone bunching up there, and we will be getting ready to go.
I was going to invite Lewis and ask him what happened.
Oh, Well, you should probably do that after the race, not now. But anyway, Corey Marshall has gone. Speed Costa gets a 5-second penalty already. Oh, but VRT Lilly is already ahead of Corey Marshall. So that was definitely orchestrated from Ferrari. So now the orders for Corey Marshall, I would assume, are to hold Sam Cole up as much as you can. And I would assume that's what he will do, because he's got Sam Cole right on his rear wing, and Danny Esquetet not too far behind him either, as VRT Lilly makes a little bit of a lock-up into the first real braking zone. But already Sam Cole, like a lion, pounces on Corey Marshall, goes down the inside into the hairpin, caught Corey Marshall very much napping, and he is ahead of the Ferrari driver. And now Danny Esquetet is also having a go at the Ferrari driver. Madis Gamerbos also sitting behind, waiting to pounce as well. Danny Esquetet has got ahead, and Madis Gamerbos goes down the inside. Danny Esquetet has overshot the corner just slightly and nearly goes into Sam Cole, but luckily they managed to escape unscathed. And we got a yellow flag in the back. That's TRT Seed who's gone straight on, and now we got Madis Gamerbos pouncing on Corey Marshall as well. Corey Marshall goes very defensive. Can Madis Gamerbos hang it around the outside? He's certainly looking for it on those fresh soft compound tyres, and he does get ahead of Corey Marshall. And now GSR Aid is also having a go at Corey Marshall. Corey Marshall goes from first down to sixth in the space of half a lap, and now he's got more people coming at him as Alfie George now tries to have a go. And this could be decent for Haas after all, as we got yellow flags in the background again. I wonder what that was for. V2X Combat has dropped. Oh my god, has he got wing damage? Oh my god, has he got wing damage? He has! Oh my god! Ah! Kill me! Honestly, it just
still
put
Alfie
a gun
George,
to my head.
Alfie George on the back of Corey Marshall.
That's true. Alfie George is still in there. I mean, he's only a reserve, but at this point, I may as well replace him with. May as well just. Alfie George can turn up every week. He can replace V2X Combat. Oh dear! No! Are you? Oh, I have no words. I have no words.
A moment of silence for us, please.
I am absolutely lost for words. How is that possible
That's got
to be
the
that
biggest
unlucky?
That's got to be the biggest commentator curse on the planet.
Moving on. Danny Esquetet is not letting Sam Cole have any breathing space, because I didn't expect Danny Esquetet to be challenging Sam Cole like he is, but Sam Cole not quite having the pace that I expected him to have, and Danny Esquetet looking like a very fast man indeed in these final 7 laps of the race, and he's right on the back of Sam Cole, as I keep on saying. Corey Marshall has managed to not slip down any further and is still holding 6th position, but he has got TRT Sisha right behind him, so that could be troublesome for the Ferrari driver a bit further back. Everyone else looking fairly neat and tidy. TRT Seed has left, I believe, because he obviously had a lot of he had an issue on the safety car restart. So, but yeah, other than that, everyone else is being fairly well behaved at this point in time, but I would imagine it will spice up very soon as we have 6 laps to go, and it's still not dark. You love to see it, don't you? Can't do anything right in this game anymore. It's getting darker, just very, 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 very slowly. So, I don't know. But anyways, let's see. Will Danny Esquetet be close? No, he definitely won't be close enough to make a move on Sam Cole. I don't think he'll be close enough to make a move down the 2nd straight after this one either, as we got a bit further back. Corey Marshall has lost position to TRT Sisha. Now he's going to have SV Tuck crawling all over the back of him as well. But luckily for Corey Marshall, he will have DRS on the car in front of him. Bit further in front, Madis Gamerboss is going for a move on Danny Esquetet. He looks to the outside. Will he be able to hang it around the outside? It would be sensational if he could, but he can't do it on this occasion. Tries to get a better exit than Danny Esquetet, but not able to do so. So have to sit behind for a little bit longer, and he has got time to make a move, because there is still 6 laps to go in this race, so it's definitely not over yet. I think in terms of the race win, it is over, because VRT Lilly is a long way ahead. A bit further back, we got something going on. Kagoda and Speeder Kuste have had an incident, because they are very much a long way off of the drivers in front of them. V2X Combat is back in the points. Oh dear! Okay, Speeder Kuste has cut completely across Kagoda there, taken them both out. Kagoda has survived. But at this point, I'm not sure if he will continue. And yeah, he's left, understandably. And that will definitely be a penalty for Spielkuste because he cut straight across Kagoda and took him out. Pardon?
League ban. It's got to be. Honestly,
I don't
like,
think...
or at least a race ban.
Yeah, it will. I would imagine it will be a race ban because in the official rules, it's a race ban if you intentionally take someone out.
In chat, he's just said he's banning.
Oh, okay then. Fair enough. Well, that could well be the last time we see Spielkuste in ABS then. But I guess we'll have to see. As SV Tuck now gets past Corey Marshall, and Lux Evan now gets past Corey Marshall as well. Oh god, I think hindsight is a wonderful thing, but I think Corey Marshall probably should have taken the risk of double stacking under that safety car, because he probably wouldn't have dropped down to the extent that he's dropped down if he'd come into the pits under the safety car. But as I said, hindsight is a wonderful thing. But yeah, it's unfortunate because he was. Yeah, I said that earlier. It's nice to see V2X Combat is at least scoring 1 point for Haas. I mean, it doesn't really, because we're over 100 points behind Red Bull. But you know, you got to take the small wins here and there, I suppose. As Corey Marshall gets a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. We have 4 laps to go in this race. We've still got a few battles yet to be decided. Danny Esquete he's dropped off Sam Coe a bit, but he's still not too far away. We'll have a look at time penalties to see if that will affect anything. So time penalties, Danny Esquete has 6 seconds, so as it stands he'll get overtaken on time penalties by Maddest Gamer Boss. GSR Aid has also got 6 seconds, so he may... No, I think Sisha is too far behind to overtake him on time penalties. Everyone else, apart from Corey Marshall, has 6 seconds other than Seed and Kagoda, but they're both out. Oh my god, how has V2X Combat got 17 seconds? Like, actually no, he'll be okay. He won't drop behind Seed, luckily, because Seed's AI is so far away. At least that's something good. But here comes Maddest Gamer Boss on Danny Esquete. Once again, he looks to the inside this time. Can Danny Esquete hold around the outside? Looks like he can, and they made a bit of contact there by the looks of it, because Maddest Gamer Boss has lost a lot of time. We'll go back to the tyres now, so you can all see the lovely tyre graphics. But yeah, Maddest Gamer Boss is going to have to sit behind for a little bit longer. I mean, to be honest, he doesn't even need to go for a move on Danny Esquete ahead of him, because he obviously, as I said before, the time penalties will put him ahead of Danny Esquete anyway, and he's also got GSR Aid behind him also on 6 seconds, so he'll be okay. As far as he's concerned, his job is pretty much done, but still it's satisfying to get it done on track, but it can go very much wrong, because sometimes it's a bit of an unnecessary risk. But I'm running out of things to say, Adam, so anything you want to say?
Yes, actually. I've been waiting to say this for a while now. So you know how I said before the race, Jack was going to win?
Yes.
And how I also said that Sam Coe was going to be on pole?
Yes.
Does that not prove that I'm a time traveller?
It's possible. I mean, you also said GSR Aid could win.
Yeah, but
to be fair, GSR Aid, we haven't mentioned him. He's had a good comeback drive because he was spun on lap 1, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's true.
Who do you reckon? Who do you reckon you would go for driver of the day, Adam?
Driver of the day. Well, I've got to say, Maddest Gamer Boss for this one. To be honest, I mean he's in P4, started in P18, and he's once again been dicing with some of the fastest guys in this league, despite starting further back than he did in Honda, and pretty much carrying Racing Point at this point. I mean, what a drive from him today. Obviously kept those tyres alive, done everything right on the strategy. He's been rewarded from it. I mean, he's got less penalties than the guy ahead, so he should take him at the line if he can stay within the required 3 seconds to get that position. Yeah,
I would imagine he'll have no problem staying within that 3 seconds. But yeah, Maddest Gamer Boss started 18th, I believe, and he's made his way up to 4th and what will be 3rd. So yeah, I think that's a good candidate for driver of the day. I agree with you. For me it would either be Maddest Gamer Boss or GSR Aid. So yeah, yeah. I mean, if V2X Combat hadn't died, then I would have given it to him because like he was ahead of Maddest Gamer Boss before his incident, and he started around the same place as Maddest Gamer Boss, but unfortunately didn't bring it home as Java's just left. So Java's been watching all this time. How lovely.
I've got to say, VRT Lily could also be pretty easily put in the driver's driver of the day votes for today, because I mean he started in obviously P3, but then dropped to P4 on lap 1, and then I think went up to P3, then P2, and now P1. I mean, so it's just a progressive, slow gaining of time over other drivers that's given him the win today, and I think he's had relative control over this race, whether that's through his teammate, being quick in the parts of the track where he needs to be, or anything. But I think, yeah, he's also driven really, really well today, and I've got to hand it to him. Great drive.
Yeah, I think that's one of Jack's specialties, just managing to get out in front and just drive off into the distance. Obviously, he hasn't been able to do that today, but once he does get out in front, that's probably where he's at his most happiest. Well, it's where anyone's at their most happiest, but he doesn't buckle under the pressure. So this will help his championship fight. Pardon?
It's the closest thing you get to time trial, and this man loves time trial.
Yeah, Jack is definitely a time trial merchant as Corey Marshall sets the fastest lap of the race now. Corey Marshall has pitted finally and gone on to fresh softs to get that fastest lap of the race, and that's probably the right decision actually, because he wouldn't have gained anything. But V2X Combat has also pitted, so he's trying for fastest lap as well. Go on, V2. Please get the fastest lap and ease the pain just a little bit. Oh, but meanwhile, Maddest Gamer Boss is going for it on Danny S. Get It now. He's looking to the outside this time, and this time he's gotten the move done before the braking zone. So Maddest Gamer Boss up into 3rd place on track now and ahead of Danny S. Get It. So Maddest Gamer Boss cementing his driver of the day from Adam, aka Jet Belly. Yeah, Maddest Gamer Boss, he's come out of nowhere, hasn't he? So it's like, never heard of him before he joined this league.
Who does he think he is? Just coming into ABS Racing League, taking pole on his debut. I mean, the guy, I've got to hand it to him. He's a real talent.
Possibly a future champion one day, because obviously this is his first season, and
well, I mean,
and he's been quick right from the start.
For the title this season, if there wasn't any bottling involved and if it was just done on pace, racecraft, that kind of thing, I would say it would be the current top 4 that would be contenders for the win.
Yeah, definitely.
So
and so, someone else as well, FRA LMG.
He hasn't really shown massive amounts of pace. I mean, we know he's quick, but he just seems to not be able to put it all together in ABS.
Didn't he win a race?
Yeah, but like, he should be winning many.
Yeah, he won, but he's not quick.
He should be winning more races than just this. I mean, he's probably the second best member of FRA, which is a really fast esports team. And he's not beating his teammate, he's not beating Danny Sketter, he's not beating Maddest Gamer Boss.
Well, it's mainly because he's out of the race.
No, I mean in the championship.
Oh, well, yeah. I think he has had some bad luck at some points, but
yeah, definitely.
Anyway, we have to look at Jack now because he is going to cross the line. He started 3rd, he's going to finish 1st. Across the line for VRT Lily, he wins ABS Tier 1, and Maddest Gamer Boss has got a 3-second time penalty, but he's got past Danny S. Get It, so it's okay. Sam Cole is 2nd. Maddest Gamer Boss from the back of the grid comes home for 3rd. Danny S. Get It, solid drive from him. He is 4th. GSR Aid, after being cruelly destroyed on lap 1, comes home to take 5th place in the end. C-Shirt comes home 6th for Red Bull. That's a decent result, because I think Red Bull have struggled quite a lot, and he's come home with no front wing, so unless he crashed after the line, I think he must have. SV Tuck comes home for 7th. Lux Evan is 8th. Corey Marshall, he led this race at one point. He comes home for 9th, and I believe with the fastest lap, if I am not mistaken.
Yeah, I'm just checking because I think V2X Combat is going for it this lap. He's very low on
Yep, he
ERS.
could be trying for it on this last lap. According to my timings, he was 4 tenths up, I believe. I'm not sure if that's enough or not, but for now, at least, it's Corey Marshall with the fastest lap. V2X Combat will complete the points positions, and the last drivers come across the line out of the final corner. Now, will he take it? He does. So, V2X Combat is the man with the fastest lap, and
Easing
he
the
will
pain.
take an extra point for Haas. So that eases some of the pain at least.
Cody's, I agree with you. Cody's, I agree with you. Thank you, Cody's. You're right.
What do you what do you agree with?
He said that Maddest Gamer Boss was the driver of the day, and I agree wholeheartedly.
Oh yeah, I agree with that as well.
Yeah.
So we will see the podium celebration now, and then we will invite the top 3 for interviews. Oh, Beans in the chat said, "Hi Chris, love you." But then Jarv called him a simp.
Josh should be banned from ABS.
I agree. Like, he's clearly against Haas.
Mm-hmm.
He said FFS, he didn't spin. Like, come on now. Okay, Jack's the only one that's joined.
I've invited Sam Cole. There he is.
Okay, Sam Cole's here as well. This is probably one of the better interviews because I know Sam and Jack. I don't really know Gamer Boss as much. Obviously, I interviewed him last week.
Last time, so.
But still. But yeah, but like I know, I've met Sam. Well, I haven't met him, but I kind of know Sam in real life. So no, I haven't met you in real life, have you?
Yes, you have. Yeah.
When?
Like, did you do the Buckmore round like January last year?
Yes.
So
Yes.
did I.
Oh yeah, I've seen you, but we didn't talk. So.
Yeah. I don't want to be talking.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to some ugly spag.
I don't want to talk to a midget. So.
I'm probably
on
taller.
stream,
I'm probably
Jesus,
taller
man.
than you, so it's not. Yeah. Right.
Anyway, so
How tall are you?
we'll start
How
with
tall are you?
6 foot.
No, you're not. You're
Yes, I
not
am.
6 foot.
I am 6 foot.
Right. How tall? Are you sort of half the size of Fanny?
I'm a little bit shorter.
And George is not 6 foot.
Yes,
You
he
liar.
is.
Right. I'm messaging.
We gotta move on because like all these people don't know who we're talking about. But Maddest Gamer Boss, we'll interview him first because he was third, so we'll start with him. Maddest Gamer Boss, I told you to win. You didn't quite win, but I mean still. I mean, you started 18th, and you managed to like fight your way through and like just like be the GOAT that me and Jet Belly know that you are. What happened in qualifying that caused you to start so far down?
I was going to start P11, going for the alternative strategy, and I fucked up and started P18, and yeah, that was the point of it all.
Well, it clearly didn't stop you. What strategy did you go for in the race?
I was intending medium and soft, like a one-stop on fresh mediums, and yeah, and all the safety cars came out at the end. There was so many safety cars and VCs, and there was so much stoppage in the race, and I got damaged, and it was a messy race, but I got P3 in the end, so it's good.
I mean,
Yeah, good stuff from you.
I just wanted
what
to
do you
hear you
wanna
back
say?
in the interview box, to be honest. Last week, I think. Yeah. Good drive. On to, what's his name? Sam? No.
Is it
Sam?
Sam? Why do you
Oh.
think Sam's Xbox name would be Sam if his name wasn't Sam?
I don't know. I thought it was Camsol.
Oh.
Anyways,
Oh right.
Camsol, great drive today.
No, it wasn't.
Obviously, you
I
put it on
agree.
pole, as I predicted. But
Beat the
then
sweat.
in the race,
Game
lost the
sheet.
position. So, are
I
you
technically
disappointed
won.
with losing the
No,
position?
because I technically won.
You technically didn't, mate.
Well, Jack doesn't count. I know
Yes, he does.
Doesn't count.
He doesn't. He's
No. I want to hear
Oh.
more. Why,
He should be
why
tier
did Jack
4, I
not
think.
count? Why
because
did Jack not
you know some fat controller split. So V0 races on an account.
Okay.
Pad sweat.
Yeah, someone asked a question to Jack. I can't think of any.
And you're gay.
You're so bad at interviewing Jet Belly. Right, Sam. Because
Hi,
my
Chris.
colleague is extremely awful at commentating
agree.
and interviewing. But like,
I agree.
It's just
I
the
mean-
interviewing, I hope.
I mean, Sam, like you
It's-
took
no,
pole
it's
position,
both.
which
It's
like
shite.
well, personally shocked me because like I know how bad you've been recently, and like I
Chris,
didn't expect
go
you to
suck
be.
an egg, mate.
I didn't expect you to be fastest, but I mean, Jet Belly said that you would be fastest, so he predicted the future.
That
But
was
then
my time.
you weren't
Of
quite
course
as quick in the race. So like, what happened there? Were you just like not very quick in the race, or like something went
I
wrong?
don't.
Or did
I
you
don't
like?
know.
How have you shot
You
me
don't
through
know.
a wall? Jesus.
Alan, we're
What?
doing interviews. Please stop playing Warzone.
Shut up!
No.
Shut up, Adam.
Yeah, shut up, Alan.
Okay, so we'll just conclude then that Sam Cole is just not as quick in the race.
Shut
I
up,
mean,
Chris.
you got P1 last
You
week,
probably
so,
only
like,
have one win in the Brockmore in the practice session, the 3 laps before than an actual heat win. So, shut up.
yeah, but you're in
Ping.
cadets, so
Yeah, and I'm going up against the people like Ben Cook and Will Ovenden in it.
whatever, Sam, whatever. Moving on, Jack. So me and Jack, yeah, we were chatting the other day, like we were like messaging
When?
because we're besties and that.
When?
Like,
2
Like-
days ago.
No, when
Didn't
did I
ask
ask?
yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
I'm moving in.
Ah.
Oh,
Ah,
love
I
you.
wanna kill myself.
F.
I knew he was gonna say that. I was like, Jack, don't fall for it, but you did. So
You kicked
lost a little
Sam.
bit of respect from me there. I did kick him, yeah. But yeah, so Jack, moving on to you. You were like, well, firstly you were like second or like third or like even fourth at one point, I think.
Yes, fourth at one
Yeah,
point.
third.
Hmm.
You were
But, like,
fourth on the start.
But you
I
just
think.
like, no, he was third. Yeah, I remember. It was Sam, Corey, and then Jack. So like
Yes.
Jack started third, and then Corey Marshall like took the lead from Sam Cole because Sam Cole is like trash and that. So and then of course Corey Marshall was like, and then you managed to get past Corey Marshall. Was that orchestrated by the team, or was that just like you taking the initiative and being the GOAT and getting past Corey Marshall, your teammate?
Well, I'd say it's a bit of both, to be fair. Um, well, you could easily tell it was. We weren't in a pie or anything. But Corey Marshall has the biggest IQ in the world. He lets me past and lets me run away with it, which is very good, especially to hold up Sam Cole for half a lap, which got me out of DRS. So yeah, GSI F1 Masters crash absolutely horrified me at the start. It scared me to death. I
Yes.
shit myself at that point.
It was very scary to watch.
Yeah, I was about to turn left, and I just see a ghosted 8 F1 Master just come across my screen. And I'm like, no. I don't want wing damage. But that didn't happen, so it was okay.
Yeah, you just about managed to avoid him. So I think everyone avoided him because he was ghosted. Luckily, one of the things I did manage to do in this lobby was put ghosting on. If I hadn't put ghosting on, that would have been probably an entirely different story.
Oh yeah,
But,
I would have been dead.
Yeah, you would have been very much dead. But like, I mean, yeah, you've obviously got quite a good relationship with Corey then at Ferrari because he let you buy at the safety car restart after you got past him before the safety car, which kind of in the end proved kind of crucial to your win because like if you hadn't got past him, then Corey Marshall would have pitted under that safety car and you would have either had to double stack or stay out, which well Corey Marshall chose to stay out and he finished 9th. So, but yeah, I mean, not really much to say. Do you have anything to say, Mr. Jetbelly One?
No.
He just wants to get back to his war zone.
That's what
No,
it
no,
is. He's a Warzone
I do have
sweat.
something to say. I do have something.
Oh, he
to
does
say.
have something to say.
Jack, you wouldn't have won today had I not predicted your victory.
Ah, yes. We like that.
Yeah, Adam actually predicted the pole sitter and the race winner, so
I think I should get championship points for that.
Jet,
I don't know about
Jet
that
Belly
one.
Driver of the day for predicting the results.
Pole and win.
That's
Yeah,
pretty good
I mean-
to be fair.
Jetbelly, time traveller of the day. So it's Jetbelly One.
Yes. Okay, that's acceptable.
Yeah. Well, anyways, that's just about all we have time for. Thank you to Maddest Gamer Boss and VRT Lily for turning up, and well done for P1 and P3. Obviously, I would say, well, actually, wouldn't say well done to Sam, even if he was here, but he's not
Yeah,
here,
shut
so I
up,
don't need to
Sam.
speak to him. Yeah, shut up, Sam. But we'll see you next week. What track is it next week?
I'll have a look.
I'm on Discord.
It
Would you like me to
is
check?
Austria.
Austria.
Yes.
So be sure to join us then. That
I
should be a
I
good
think
race.
It was Austria too.
Thank you, Adam. But we'll see you next week when ABS Tier 1 returns.
Yeah.
Sounds
Thank you all for
small.
watching, and goodbye.